Mr. Leonard told us that whilst high on speed, he'd gone down to the deep creek with his compound bow, which he used to shoot fish in the creek. He'd left it in a cave, scouted along the creek to see if there were any mullet to shoot, came back and said he was then propositioned by Stephen Dempsey, who was in the cave and urinating at the time. You've gone into the cave there, you've seen Mr. Dempsey urinating, he smiled at you, you've come outside. What did you do then?
He stood over here and he said, "You gotta suck the guy's dick." And I said, "No," I picked up my bow and I pointed at him and I said, don't come over here, I'm gonna shoot him. And he said, "I don't believe you." And then he said, "I'm gonna walk towards you now." And he walked, he started coming towards me. And at about 10 feet, I let go of the string and the arrow went into him.
Was it your intention to kill Mr. Dempsey when you fired the arrow at him?
It wasn't my intention to kill anybody when I fired the arrow at him. I wanted him to be stopped. I didn't want him to come any closer to me. I felt threatened.
But the detectives did not believe his version of events. They believed Richard Leonard deliberately and callously killed Stephen Dempsey.
Everything we knew about a compound bow at that time suggested they were very, very powerful weapons, and most of the people that had shot them were of the opinion that a compound bow fired in such a way would have virtually gone straight through a person. In the case of Mr. Dempsey, that hadn't happened. The arrow had lodged fairly firmly in his heart, maybe halfway through the body. And that didn't correspond with the range and the power of the bow that Mr. Leonard had and the way he described it had occurred.
In an attempt to rebut Leonard's version of events, the team decided to reenact the scene using a pig carcass.
We obtained an identical bow, identical arrowheads, and we conducted a series of tests from varying distances.
Leonard had said he shot Mr. Dempsey from 10 feet, or 3 metres away. At that distance, the arrow went straight through the carcass.
The arrow that corresponded with the type of wound that Mr. Dempsey suffered was fired from a range of about 9 or 10 metres from memory, which was more than twice the distance that Richard Leonard was telling us he'd fired the arrow at. It suggested that what he was telling us wasn't right.